All right, folks, I have decided to do a review. This is about the 60-day mark. For me, cutting the cable cord, I told Comcast Xfinity to kiss my ass. Cut the cord, jumped over to PlayStation Vue. Positives and negatives so far before I get into the details of PlayStation Vue. My bill was $196. So that included a shit ton of stuff, some of which will not affect most of you. We had the phone, we had DVR, we had 2 cable boxes, I believe. We had blast internet. So it was kind of ridiculous. Obviously, most people's cable is cheaper than that. And I'll undoubtedly get some comment from somebody that lives in an area with a lower cost of living where the cable is much cheaper, or unbeknownst to them, they've signed a contract, and once that year is up, they will start paying through the roof. So we had a little better deal when we had a contract. However, it got kind of ridiculous. So now I think we're paying about $75 for standard internet, which is just crap. They're trying to get us back. Not going to happen. Now, so you take that price, plus you take the $45 and add those together, and you get roughly $120. So I'm saving $70-some from where I was before, which is freaking sweet to me. One thing I absolutely love about PlayStation Vue is all the frickin' devices this works with, okay? So we're going to look at the computer, just roughly go over this. There are some things I don't like about it that Sling might have done a little better. However, to get what I have here with PlayStation Vue, I needed to spend about $45 with Sling. And then I would have ended up pretty much having the same thing, maybe the same amount of channels, I don't know. However, there are channels on here that you don't get with Sling that I'd rather have. I believe Discovery is one of them. I'm not sure if Cartoon Network was in one of the Sling packages. And, and one of the other reasons was all the positive comments I heard about PlayStation Vue. Quality of the picture, I definitely feel it loads up better. If you see my channel, obviously I, take video from channels and make other videos out of them. So I need it to be relatively quick and have a good quality picture for that. All right, so let's start at the top. There's this thing called channels here. You can go in, you see all your channels. And I don't know how HBO is in here still. I got rid of that. At least hopefully I did. Hope I'm not getting paid or paying for it. Unless the old lady decided she wants to keep it. If you click on favorite channels, you can lessen the amount of channels you see. So now I'm seeing all the stuff I want. Here in the DC area, we get CBS, Fox, and NBC. You'll see ABC is on demand, which sucks. Now, so these are my personal favorites. You won't see CNN on this channel. We like our Fox News here. All right, no, try not to get political on this channel. So then we go over to live TV. It almost looks like the same thing, except it's telling you, what's on, what shows are on. At times I like this, at times I don't. Then you go to guide. Very similar to what you see on the cable box, however, it's in ass backwards orders. I've always wondered if I can change this. Maybe not. So, anybody knows how to change this? I would love to know how. I would love to have my channels down here and the times across here. So that's, a slight negative. DVR. This thing is incredible how much crap you can put on here. Just see a ton of things on here. And if I remember correctly, there's no limit except it only lasts for like 30 days. But I can put shows on here and go back forever. Nice thing about this, when I get set up for the next part of this, the computer is really great to work with. So I'm not going to click on any shows because then I'll have copyright claims, crap like that. I think you'll be pretty happy with this. Let's switch over to a phone here. And you'll see on the phone there's an icon. Let it load up. And okay, so it's loaded up. And you get kind of the same setup, live TV, my DVR, favorite channels. Pretty cool. There's a movie thing here. We also have, I don't have it logged in, but just so you get another idea of one of the other formats, it's available on iTunes. So I just put this on here. I've never actually used it on my iPad. It's going to be the same format. You can use Sony PlayStation View as you would expect on your PlayStations. So unless you have a 2 or a 1. Should be 3 and 4. Both it works with. So lots of other devices. I have it on, jump over here. We've got it on Roku. And I think my my Roku might have been sitting paused too long. I might have to reboot this thing. It's not PlayStation View's problem, but Roku, for whatever reason, doesn't have an off button, which is good and bad. I waste electricity, but I don't waste time waiting for the thing to turn on. So this is one thing that's annoying in the Roku is when you're watching a show, sometimes it's really hard to go back. That's probably the only thing I'm going to be critical of. But you get the same thing here, the guide. And look, the guide is actually with the channel on the left side and the time across the top. So that's kind of nice. NFL football. Amazingly, that's the first thing that pops up on this channel. So it's pretty cool that to have all this. Let me back out of this. There's something I wanted to show you. You know, the other stuff looks very similar. My DVR. Search is on the left side versus on the computer. Settings is on the left side versus on the right side. Not a super big deal. Let's go back to the Roku. So it looks like I got some screen burn in there. That's a negative. So what's kind of cool is with, just like with the cable companies, with PlayStation View, you can link your accounts to some of these other apps. So A&E, to get all the other stuff, you link that to PlayStation View and bam, next thing you know, you've got all kinds of other stuff. History channel. So you put all these logins in there and it will work just great. And that's kind of nice because you don't have to screw around with the DVR. MTV is not on PlayStation View. It may be on a upgraded version, but for what I have, I don't have it. So that's basically the review. If you're considering it, I would say, take the leap. I had a hard time getting the family on board, and once I did, they all seemed pretty happy. Thanks for checking out my video. Please subscribe.